morning and welcome to Morning Coach Today. I am so glad you're with us. Hey, it's JB. Super pumped you're here. It is 9/25/2023. It is a Monday and we are rocking and rolling, ready to get the week started off with some great energy. Episode 5099. Excited. Almost 5,100 episodes. Wow. Been rocking and rolling for a long time. We've got a great week. As I mentioned, a lot of things going on. We're doing I'm getting ready for my event, heading down to Columbia, so it's kind of a prep week. Get a little practice in, as I discussed last Thursday about really focusing on things and just getting things done. This week, as event week starts up, we're going to talk about some holistic health as we close out September, and we're really already coming in October. So it's time to start working on our plan, which is crazy. The new planner's rocking and rolling. So many really cool things. So anyways, let's get back to this week. Okay, today, holistic health. It is event prep week. 100-day challenge, still rocking. 3 more weeks to go. For those of you doing a 100-day challenge, you can check in on your spreadsheet. I know some people have fallen off. Some people have been very consistent. It's great. It is what it is. If you haven't been doing your stuff, get back at it, right? I've been doing pretty good, really staying away from alcohol, just really killing it with other things. It's been a great 100-day challenge. My writing's still not where it needs to be, but we're really focused on the planner and getting things in great shape for 2024. But yeah, if you're with me on that, great. If you're brand new, don't worry about it. That's something we did, obviously, almost 70 days ago or whatever number that is. So if you're new with me, just keep doing what you're doing. Do not get overwhelmed. Stick with the Daily Coachcast and doing your basics, okay? So a 100-day challenge, I hope you're doing great with that. Those of you that aren't, it's, hey, totally cool. We're going to keep rolling. Tomorrow, we're getting into our book study, section 4. Alex Hormozi, $100 million offers. We're going to finish this book, and then we're going to get into his new book. I am loving this book. I know not everyone here is in PE. That's okay, professional expert side of it, but hey, it's good for everyone anyways to understand offers. Wednesday, we're going to talk about healthcare and professional choices, kind of a deep day. We've been having Dr. Paul on our show, which has been amazing. I really hope you enjoyed last Saturday's edition on walking the tightrope of care for others. That's a really important one to understand, especially those of you dealing with into life issues with parents and other family members. He's doing a great job of that. But we're going to talk about healthcare professional choices and how do you find somebody. I'm going to go over that a little bit, and maybe Dr. Paul can give us that on a Saturday too, which would be great. Thursday, we're going to talk about how to handle your nerves, and this is something I'm getting. I got 500 people, maybe more. How do I handle that going on stage? I've got some secrets for that, so you want to tune in Thursday. That's going to be a good one. Friday, we're going to talk about sleep supplementation and increasing quality sleep. I have been doing something that has really changed my sleep, and I want to share that with you on Friday. My quality of my sleep has increased, which is so critical to everything we do. So that's great. Saturday, we got Dr. Paul again. He's been coming up, showing up, bringing us some great energy, which has been great on Saturdays. And then Sunday, we're starting a new month. October's here. We're going to talk about getting excited about life and faith and going after it. So, I love September because we get to get into health, and I know it's one of those things well, why do we talk about it? It's not something that's critical to my success. I want to know techniques, but the truth is, it is what it's all about. If you're not doing some form of self-care and you're not taking care of yourself, I'm telling you what, you're not going to get to where you need to be. One of my biggest issues, if I don't do my self-care first thing in the morning and I get on emails or whatever, I am grumpy, I don't respond properly, and I just don't do the right things. When I do my self-care, I'm on top of it. And the idea of entering into holistic health and taking responsibility for our health is really critical. It will change your life if you start to take control of your health. And I know it's not the most exciting topic, but if you are trying to stop being scattered and trying to be organized, that's why I gave up drinking and I focused on taking care of my body and meditating and eating right. It's changed my life. And I really want to give you some tips that will help you do the same because it will bring so much energy and joy to your life when you start to transition and make some changes. Okay? By the way, before we move into today's topic, this Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is a full community Get It Done Now coaching. If you get a chance to stop by, it'll be live in the meetup room. September 28th is a Thursday. at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Figure out your calendar with that. Love to have you there. Okay, let's get into it. So holistic health is this idea of looking at everything that's involved and really taking a look at the picture, your environment, the things you're eating, the things you're doing, the medical practitioners you go to, and really structuring a situation where you are getting healthier. Now, we have Dave in here who wrote the book, Up Your HRV, and we've done that as a resource, right? We've worked on that and talked about it. And HRV is a great way to think about measuring your health. It is actually a good way to kind of look at, okay, is my health getting better or is my health not improving, right? And so Dave wrote that book, which is great. And you can check out him by Googling Dave Maxfield or go on our Compass and check out his book on Up Your HRV. But it is a great indicator of overall health. And it's what I do to track, and I'm using the Whoop device. And, the things that I've been changing are having a direct impact. And that's why I like to share this with you, because when you feel better and you're healthy, everything else works better. You can handle stress. You're able to take on challenges. You can go after bigger and bigger goals. You can do bigger things when you're feeling better. So we've got to work at building your strength in your mental and physical health, because it's not only physical health. I think that's the big issue that I see with a lot of people is when we get into health, we're talking about this physical aspect of health. And we how do you feel? Are you moving? Are you getting cardiovascular fitness? But what it really boils down to is when you do those things, you have better mental health. And mental health is what it's all about, because what we think is what we are going to bring into our lives. So if we're not taking care of ourselves and our mentality shifts, then we're never sending out the correct message that's going to allow it to come back. Now, I'm not going to get all woo-woo and metaphysical, but we need to sometimes. Because from the metaphysical standpoint, you're sending that energy out and you're sending confusing messages. So how are you supposed to manifest what you want to manifest? My life is changing because I'm taking control of my mind. How am I taking control of my mind? By being clear about the things that I'm doing day in and day out, by eating right, by exercising, by taking care of myself. Am I perfect at it? No, not even close. But I'm getting better, and getting better is better than nothing. And again, how can I tell that? My HRV is rising. Now, HRV is an individual statistic. Everybody's is different, but mine is continually climbing to an average in the high 60s, which is great. I've had it up in the 70s and 80s. It's really starting to get better. And I'm going to talk about Friday, something I'm doing with sleep that's really helping too. You're going to love that. So let's keep going. So we want to build this strength. And again, I'm talking to your left brain right now. I'm trying to get that analytical side going. You know what? Maybe it's time for me to take the next step. Maybe it is time to lose a little weight. Maybe it is time to take a cold plunge, which it took me forever. We talked about it a year ago, and now I do it 5 days a week at a minimum. I love it. I'm addicted to it. It gives me that dopamine hit, that clarity that I need. I sit there and I just love being in that ice, and I'm doing saunas every day, and it's really shifted my mindset from this to a very holistic state of being able to create, and that's what's so important. So again, what do we got to do? Okay, let's talk about eating. We are what we eat, and this is so important. I remember meeting Maureen Whitehouse years ago, and she wrote Soulful Eating. And it changed the way I approach food. And she talked about clean eating and having appreciation for the things that you're eating and how that energy comes into your body. And when I sat back and started to think about it, it's true. We are what we eat. So if we're eating McDonald's every day and we're eating that, that kind of processed foods or Doritos and Cheetos, and I like my Doritos. I think the Taco Bell Dorito taco is the greatest gift ever. Like, that thing is amazing, but it's horrible for you. Right? So you got to do things in moderation. I like a Dr. Pepper on ice. I just love it. But that's just a load of sugar. It's terrible for you. But you can have those things once in a while, just not every day. And that's a problem. And if you think about it from a soulful eating or a spiritual eating perspective, are you really gaining any quality energy from a McDonald's cheeseburger or from a Dr. Pepper or from a bowl of ice cream, which I love too, right? You're not. Those are things that are not adding to your life. Now, again, maybe from a joyful standpoint, you get a little joy out of it. But it's like anything else. If you overconsume it and you're constantly drinking that stuff, it's eventually going to take effect. That it's going to lose the joy. So you got to really choose your spots for those things. And I don't have to tell you. You know what's good and bad in your diet. You know what you're eating wrong and right. And to have a little more soulful eating, and I give Maureen the credit on that. or, I call it spiritual eating, it changes the way you approach your food. So that's step one, okay? Step two is to create a health part in your journal. Now, we've had Dr. Paul Kilgore on, which is great, who's really bringing some ideas on health, and he can talk to you a lot about this. But this literally changed my life. I started writing down what I was eating and how I felt throughout the day. And you'll see that, like a Dr. Pepper, for example, which is just a sugar rush and caffeine, that you feel great. Like it gives you this euphoria for 15 minutes. And then you crash. It's why I work with my professional golfers and say, don't eat that garbage. Don't eat a Snickers on the golf course. Because what happens is you eat the Snickers or you drink the Dr. Pepper, you're feeling good for 15, 20 minutes, you're playing good, then all of a sudden you crash. Now all of a sudden you're making bad decisions. And if you know, golf is all about decisions. It's all about where you're going to put the ball and how you can get up and down safely. That's just the way golf is. So when you do that, you're creating these dumps. And how do you know that? You start a journal and you start tracking what you're eating. Now you don't have to be OCD on this, but you got to start looking at what makes you feel good, what makes you perform better. My number one performance food is sashimi. I know it's crazy. I'm up here in Chicago right now. I can't wait to get back down to Florida because I have places that I go that I get my sashimi, and I love it. I just love raw fish. It's the weirdest thing, but I have the most euphoric and best days when I do that, and I'm realizing that. The other thing is self-care, and by understanding my protein intake, increasing my protein every day. If my protein is very high, and I need a lot of protein because I have a lot of energy. So I drink it and I also eat it. So I eat 4 to 5 eggs in the morning. When I have that breakfast, I'm on fire. And then I drink some protein and then I eat either chicken, beef, fish, and my protein. If my protein's high, I'm looking good. And again, raw fish is the protein that's just amazing for me. I know that freaks some people out and they're like, oh, that's nasty. But sashimi to me is the dream. How did I learn that? By doing a food journal. And every time I had sashimi, man, it took me out of a funk. So if business is down or I get some bad news, I would go have sashimi, man, I was ready to take it on. So understand what works for you. Maybe you have blood sugar issues. Maybe you're somebody that's dealing with that as you're getting better. Maybe you need to eat some oatmeal. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I tell you what I do. If I'm out going to be sustained for a long time, like on a golf course for 4 or 5 hours, I know I'm not going to I eat a big bowl of oatmeal. It just sustains that blood sugar. So educating yourself is one of the most important things we can do because everybody is uniquely different. My diet and your diet could not be the same. People ask, how do you have so much energy? Because it's the way that I live. I mean, I was here Sunday and I had a friend come over, and I have friends coming over that are trying to stop drinking, and people are coming by the retreat center and just stopping by. And I'm watching the football game. I'm cleaning the office. I'm recording videos. They're like, this is Sunday. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this thing, right? Let's go after it. And the reason is because of this. And I want you to have a little bit of that energy. It's amazing what you get done when you have energy. Okay, so start that journal. Couple other tips. Take care of yourself as you would a child. How would you take care of your child? What would you give your child? So understand that. It's kind of like the old adage that we learned from Zig Ziglar years ago about the racehorse. And you've heard me say that. I learned that from Zig, that if you bought a racehorse for $1 million, it's going to run in the Kentucky Derby. Would you give it cigarettes and dump soda down his throat and beer and alcohol? No, you would treat it in pristine condition. You would give it great food. You would take care of it. And you're worth so much more than that. Same thing. How would you treat your child? What are you giving yourself? Now, I like my pizza once in a while. I like my ice cream once in a while. But the thing is, we're looking for consistency. How can we get better consistently with what we eat? Again, one of the big things with health is to take it day by day, one day at a time. It's like anything else. You can only work in the time. If you're like me, I get so far ahead of myself so many times. I got to bring myself back. That's why meditation's so important. We can't start thinking about the 50-pound weight loss. We got to work today. All we can do is work today. How do we get through today? I'm hungry. I want to eat some Doritos. No, go drink a protein shake, right? Eat a little tuna. Figure out something else that you can do, okay? So we take it day by day, hour by hour, sometimes minute by minute. Watch your focus on your ability to be healthy. This is another one. Today's world, it's all about sickness. We have coronavirus and cancer and flus, and it's just everything you hear is sick, sick, sick. People are sick, sick, sick. You got to watch that focus. Remember, the mind is extremely powerful. In fact, one of the best examples of that was when my grandma was getting ready to pass away. The hospice nurse came up to me and said, hey, will you mind going up to her and saying it's okay to leave? It's a little sad, right? But she needed to hear that from all of us. That's okay. She was holding on. The mind is so strong. It's so powerful. We got to be careful what we're putting into that sucker, right? Clean the garden of the weeds. If you're constantly hearing you're sick, you're going to get sick, you're going to be sick. I don't get sick. I've given up on getting sick. I don't get sick anymore. Every once in a while, I get a little allergies, but I'm getting rid of that. I don't have allergies. I don't even want to talk about it. So be careful what you focus on, okay? Remove toxic people from your life and substances. Watch what your environment and those people around you. Watch the media and the news and the sources that you're getting your information. Be very, very cautious. It's amazing what's being put out there. We used to get upset that, they'd drop propaganda leaflets. Oh, I can't believe they're dropping propaganda leaflets. Now you're getting exposed to it every day. Be very, very cautious. And find joy. Build joy in your life. Do the things that are going to bring you some joy. Watch your eating, and you'll find that when you're joyful and you're happy, things get better. Okay? So let's go off to have a great start of the week. I know it's going to be a great one. I'm getting ready for my event prep. I am excited. I really am. It's been a while since I've got on stage for 500 people. Am I nervous? We'll talk about it Thursday. But I'm super excited about this. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm glad to be here for you. And guess what? I'll be here for you. We're going to be. That's what we do every single day. Okay? So I love you. Go have a fantastic one, and I'll be back with more right here tomorrow on morningcoach.com.